Hello, Crystal here. It is the 10th of November 2018. It's a Saturday and we don't get a lot of cars in the car park on a Saturday. So as you can see, about 20 past 8 in the morning, there are no cars in the car park at the moment. This morning there might be right down the end, but you don't get many up the top. I am at my flat at Lansdowne Court this lovely Saturday morning, and you've got the view of the Gillingham Lines Park over there, and that's the monument, the War Memorial. I am listening to Pastor Matthew Ashimawola from KICC Church on CD to give me inspiration, to help me get up and live with my pain, because that's what my dentist said to me. Maybe it's something you've got to live with. So at the moment I'm living with my pain. Let me go and sit down. Hello, and the first thing in the morning I usually do is have a cup of coffee or milk, have my banana for breakfast, and I check my voicemails. So let's see. I went to my parents yesterday, so usually there's a phone call from my mother asking me if I got home from the taxi safely.
Received 12:11 p.m. on the 18th of October. You cannot delete this message until you have listened for 3 seconds. Message deleted. Received 5:11 p.m. on the 16th of October. Good morning. Good afternoon, Crystal. My name's Hester Ward. I'm the matron at Midway Hospital. It's just ringing regarding your complaint and giving you some feedback. Message deleted. Received 5:53 p.m. on the 15th of October. Hello, Crystal. My name is Lucy Chasianji. I'm calling from Kent Police. Ringing in regards to the online report that you made to us. If you can call me back on 07929 360. Press 2. Received 6:15 p.m. on the 14th of October. Hello, Janessa. Just a call to make sure you got back home to Lansdowne Court by taxi, okay? If you can, give us a ring to let us know that you have got her. Message deleted. 5 saved messages.
Now these are the saved messages. These are the recent ones.
Yesterday, 7:19.
This is my mother's phone call.
Hello, Janessa. Just a quick call. Hoping the taxi got you back home safely. Thank you again for coming up to see us. And we look forward to seeing you next Friday. But obviously, as usual, you'll give us a ring first to see how your dad Derek is before you come up to see us both. Okay, Janessa? Thank you again. Have a very good week and keep well. Bye.
So that was my mum calling me yesterday. I went round to my parents yesterday after going to Sainsbury's Chatham, the NatWest Bank, and Chatham Library. In the library there was a car outside with on it, URG, red car. I've been into Pound World where two big large ladies started looking at me, laughing and singing. There were two schoolboys in there, and Carl, my ex, with his two pals, his Dirty Andrew lookalike, and John from Manchester, came waltzing into the pound shop when I was in the queue, walked all around the store, and then the Dirty Andrew lookalike smirked at me, walked off with John and Carl around the shop, and then they just walked out with nothing. Two school lads were behind me, and they had no regard for women. Blokes A lot of blokes don't. And they didn't ask if I wanted to be served. They just went into the queue and got their stuff while I was still waiting in the queue. And two large young ladies of about 22, 23 were laughing and were singing. It was more like a sort of a funny comedy show than going in the pound shop to get my stuff. So I was upset and I was annoyed, and I kept my cool. Then I went into Sainsbury's, and I went into the library. The Norris sound alike from Coronation Street was in there with his mother, with the beard and the wart on her face and the bobbly hat, with the owl trolley. I sat at computer number 10 because I was due to go up to my parents and I wanted to use the computer quickly. I phoned my mother in the library, put it on loudspeaker like the rest of them do. They usually make loud conversations in there. And I rang my mum, Jennifer, to check that if it was okay for me to go up there. And she first of all said Dad wasn't well and not to come up, and then we finished the call. I carried on looking at the computer. Then my mum rang me and she said, yes, you can come up, and when are you coming up? And I said, in a moment. And I was about half an hour later actually, because I was finishing stuff on the computer. Whereupon a couple with their baby came in, and the baby was going and all that shit. So I walked out of the library not feeling too happy. I walked with my shopping that I'd got from Pound World and my sanitary towels that I'd got from Wilkinson, because ladies have a period, and I stood in the queue in Wilkinson just getting sanitary protection, because someone has been spreading it around that I'm pregnant, and I'm certainly not. Maybe that's what was all getting their knickers in a twist yesterday. I am not pregnant. I'm 50 years old. I'm due to I'm starting the menopause. I am certainly not pregnant. And there was a piece in the paper yesterday about Dec, which is short for Derek or Declan, holding the baby. And Prince Charles was on the front page of the Mail holding baby Louis, saying baby Louis is part of the firm. The royal family's the firm, like a mafia type thing. So I walked along, and I walked along near Iceland, round the back near the job centre way, and the young lady came up to me pushing a trolley in a green parka coat, asking me where I got my camouflage coat from, and I said Primark, and she said that it would match her trousers because she had army trousers on. She walked up to Luton Road, but first of all she'd left her trolley outside a newsagent, where it remained. I walked up past Beverly's Pembroke house where Beverly lives, and then I walked all the way to my parents at Durrell Gardens. As you know, David had said to me the other day that he'd bought a silver car. There was a notice on a silver car on the way to my parents saying that it was about to be removed. I can't drive. I can't ride a bicycle. I go everywhere with these two things called my legs. So I got to my parents, and my mother Jennifer answered the door, and my father was at that time sat up by the French windows. Now, carrying on the theme of me being disgusting and ugly, and I make people violently sick because I'm horrendously ugly, Dad started to throw up. And he suddenly had to go to bed. Whereupon he put a great big pair of white headphones on his ears, covered his eyes with a yellow cloth like he did at Victoria Road in 2008, and he went to bed. My mother several times asked me to go into Dad's bedroom and ask if he was okay, but his ears were covered with headphones and I left him alone. So I spent the rest of the morning listening to my mother talking very, very loudly and frightening me to death with things that she was saying that was coming out of her mouth. One of the things that she said was, "Janestra, I can't give you any money, so there won't be any money this week because your father will murder me if I give you any money. And the same goes for Charlotte," she said. And Charlotte doesn't go up there anymore. I haven't seen Charlotte in a long time because my dad swore at her several times and told her to fuck off. So it seems that I'm going the same way as Charlotte and I'm their daughter. So I don't go up there for money. I didn't get money last week. It didn't stop me going up there this week. I like a bit of company. I like somebody to talk to. But apparently my father went to bed because I'm so disgusting. And my mother was saying things that were quite really scary and making me feel ill. She also said to me, and she told me this years ago when I was 34, that she never agreed to have sex with my dad, so it was rape. And I had to listen to that while my dad was in the bed with earphones on his head, and I started to feel ill. I had a migraine coming on. I'd been given a donut, bananas in custard, biscuits, 2 cups of tea, and I started to feel a migraine coming on, so I was paralysed down the right hand side of my face while my father was in bed with flashing lights, and my mother was continuing to go on, and she almost said to me like, if you have to need to go home in a hurry, you know you can go. I couldn't see out my right eye because migraines, that's what they are, and I've suffered from them with a child. So I, at the moment, will not be going up there again because A, I don't want to hear things like that. B, if I'm so ugly, don't ask me to go up there anyway. And C, I'm tired of playing stupid games because, again, first thing in the morning, Herbert pouncing around the town like he's stalking me in shops now. My mother telling me I'm going to get murdered if she gives me she's going to get murdered if she gives me money. There's something funny going on, and I've got to protect myself, and I'm not prepared to put up with this. In a video part 2, I will show you what my mother gave me yesterday.